Hello and welcome. Today we have a very special guest. It's RSFC Sporting Director and head coach owner of MMA Factory Paris. It's Fernand Lopez. So Fernand, can you please put a brief introduction? You know the most important facts of your life. How do you present yourself to the crowd?
Well, that's not easy task to do.
Go for it.
I would prefer you to do that. But well, I think I'm a trainer first of all, and I'm the founder and the owner of the MMA Factory Paris. And I'm working also now as the sport director, the executive sport director in Ares.
Great.
Ares is one of the major leagues just coming up, and we are under the umbrella of Vivendi, which is a big mass media, like as you know.
Yeah, no problem. So, you were growing up in pretty much, how was your childhood? I mean, how was you when you were younger? How was it? Was it hard to grow up? Was it? Can you talk a bit more on that, please?
No, wasn't that hard. I mean, I'm sorry to just broke the cliche. I didn't have a bad childhood. I mean, like, to be honest with you, everything was pretty good. Like, I had my parent was my father was university professor, and my mother also a teacher. So we did grow up with I mean, not rich but not poor. I mean, I had a decent childhood. Like I did have a lot of love. With we have a big family. We are 8 in my family, 8 child. So there was I mean, there's people that can tell you that they are not sure if there was love or not. I did. I felt like I was very loved. Till now, all my family is very. We stick together and we're very. There's a lot of love and a lot of education. A lot of like. Yeah, I definitely enjoy my childhood first of all in Cameroon, and then move up in France. But all the way long, I didn't feel like I didn't miss food or miss anything or a gift or education. Everything was awesome. I had. I'm really grateful to my parents. I have a great parent who bring me a lot of love, a lot of education, and yeah, that's pretty much.
Oh yeah, awesome. So, how did you enter the world of MMA, and when did you actually came to France? Which year? 1997, 1998?
No, I think I have in France that was probably in the 98. That was that was 98, something like that, yeah. And yeah, that's it. And you asked something else. What was the question? The second one?
I asked, how did you enter the world of MMA? How did you found the
Okay, how
passion for
did I
MMA?
get into MMA? No, first of all, I was rugbyman. I was playing rugby.
Yes?
So I used to play rugby. I used to wrestling,
Yes?
freestyle wrestling, and then I got that injury in the spine, and I had that hernia, who I mean, pretty bad, and I had like 3 years without training, and then had that surgery with a very famous doctor a scientist here in Paris, and that went very good. And then after that, I started to seek a sport where I can still have sort of fight without, but controlling a little bit the fight. So I heard about this sport named grappling, where you can wrestle and you can be on your back, and if someone hurt you on your neck, you just can tap, and then he relieve the pressure on you. So I thought that was very good for me because of my injury in the neck, and I thought that would be good just for my wellness, so I can just keep living with that and don't and try to stay fit. But I discovered something very unusual. I was pretty much 205 pounds, and I was struggling with my teacher who was bantamweight. He was 61 kilo, like 135, and the guy was beating me up, and he was shocking me, armbar me, everything, ankle lock. I was like, wow, what's going on? What is this sport? And I just fell in love of the grappling. I started to do the grappling, and then went back to the competition of grappling, went back to the freestyle wrestling, and then went back to the boxing, the taekwondo, the Muay Thai, and finally I started to do, in 2010, I started to do MMA competition as amateur. I had like 20 fights, and then I went to the professional fight, and then I did like 20 fight on professional, 20 bout, and that's pretty much how I get to the MMA.
It's fantastic. The next question, how did you come to the idea to open MMA Factory Paris?
That was something who just come up overnight, suddenly. I was in a gym. My professor, my master in MMA, the only one that I know, my training crew, I was working with him, and at that gym, I had bad experience with because it started to help me to teach, because he was saying that he feel like I have something with the transmission, with the education. He thought that I was a little bit, I had something in my DNA, like pedagogy, or something that, and I didn't believe on that, but I was helping him sometime. And my way to teach is to fall in love with people. I cannot teach, I cannot give some knowledge if I'm not in love with people in front of me. That means that I get attached very easy to people. And that's my way to, I know that I need to maintain some distance,
Yes.
use some distancing way to teach to people, but I just can't. I like to get in touch with people, get close to the people, and then I can be 100% on that side. And then there was those kids that I definitely hold them like since they were kids and they was growing up, and I started to teach them the MMA, boxing, everything. And at some point they betrayed me because of something very awkward. I got betrayed by something that I didn't believe that was possible. They just betrayed me because of religion, because I wasn't religious like them, and they just say, okay, look, we have this guy who is teaching to us. We just come in the gym, and we just go with him now because we have the same religion with him, and we like him like that. Going from there, I felt very bad. And then overnight, I just decided that I need to go from the gym to be comfortable. And then I was like, man, I cannot go in another gym because that will be like I betrayed my coach. And then I just said, okay, look, I'm going to open a gym. That's how I just went there to that. In 3 months, I had the gym straight.
Fantastic. So, the first question, who was the first famous fighter you created? And the second question, who are your most famous fighters at the moment?
Well, there's a lot of fighters who went to my gym, like Christian Pumbu.
Yes, and
the
Pumbu,
former
yeah.
Bellator champion.
Yes.
But I didn't create Christian Pumbu. He was the first student that I have in the gym when I opened the gym. But he wasn't my student. He was coming from another team named Achille team. And but he believed on me, and he said he come to my gym. But the first generation of people that I can tell that was my creation, my student. There's like Taylor Lapillus, the Lapillus brother. The Taylor is a double champion in the GMC Germany. He's the champion of the TKO Canada. He's 4 times UFC veteran. And then his brother is former Bama champion. And then you have Sami Faidin.
I know, Cage Warriors.
Yeah, Cage Warrior champion, the flyweight. This is my creation. This is the first line of my creation. And then you have Michael Lebou, also 4 times veteran, UFC veteran, fighter in the M1 Global. This is people that I definitely start from day one with them. Francis Ngannou, start from day one with them. Francis Ngannou will be the most famous of my father because he definitely is in the major weight division, which is heavyweight, right? And he's fought for the belt in the UFC. So it made him very famous. I think this is my most famous fighter. But again, like I said, in that lane I have so many like Cyril Gane, heavyweight also, just get in the top 15 in the UFC. I think this guy going to be a champion in 2021. I'm very. I mean, I can bet everything that I have that he will be champion on 21. He's coming very strong. I have Rislen Zouak, I mean, you know, the Olympic girl in judo.
Yes.
She fought for the title in the UFC South Africa.
I do.
Yeah, that's from the day one. This is my student. This is people that I can count like they are definitely my student. I have a lot of people coming in my gym. I have Veronica Macedo now in my gym, but she's not my creation. I'm just helping her because she after she fought one of my students named Valérie Domingue, she just decided that I was the coach that should help her. I mean, she beat my student. That is a funny story. Veronica Macedo beat my student in Switzerland. And then she wrote me on Instagram saying to me, hey, coach, that was an honor to fight your student. And I never had that kind of opposition ever in my life. You pretty know every much about my moves. So I think you are a good coach. I want to be on MMA Factory. So she's affiliated to MMA Factory now. Yon Kutelaba, I'm his manager, but he's affiliated to MMA Factory also just because of, you know, because of friendship. Like, he feel like he's coming sometime to have camp in MMA Factory, but it's not my creation. He's from Moldavia. He work in Moldavia, and that's pretty much. I mean, and there's so many other guys. You know, Mehdi Ben Lagda is now one of the best contender in the lightweight division in Cage Warrior.
I do.
You know Nassourdine Imavov?
Yes.
He fought in Ares recently, and he beat Jonathan Meunier, which is probably after GSP, the best prospect in Canada right now. Got beat by Nassourdine Imavov in Ares. That's my creation, Nassourdine Imavov. I don't know. There's a bunch of people that you can go on the website and see whoever I had there, but I had my small part of creation. Yeah.
Can you talk the story about Francis Ngannou? How he entered the gym? How did you channelize his energy into training? Made a champ of him. How did you make him focus? You know, to MMA and nothing else. He was boxing oriented at the beginning, or I'm making a mistake?
Yeah, definitely. He was the first time that he shows up in the gym. When I talked with him, he was saying that he's looking to be a champion in boxing, like he's dreaming to be like Mike Tyson. And I started to help him on that, but I said to him, I think the fast way to get out from your situation is MMA, because I know the situation with the boxing. I was trying to get him a professional license in boxing, but in France, in order to get the promotion license, you need to get the amateur first, and then have sort of amount of fight before going to the professional. And also, you need to be in the good situation. And he was illegal in France, so that was kind of hard to manage to get that license for him. So I was like, hey, listen, bro, the thing that you should do is to focus in the MMA. And he didn't know what was the MMA. He didn't like the MMA first of all. And so I was just trying to help him, like every single day. If I was trying, if I was literally giving him things, money to eat or clothes or things, so he can train in MMA, so he can train in Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I was giving him something that can maintain him to keep doing that. Like, okay, if you want me to help you, you need to confirm me that you were doing 3 classes of MMA per week. If you need to do this, because, and then finally we had the first amateur fight in Paris, and he did great, and mostly he got, like, I think he got maybe 700 euro or something like that, and that was too much for him. He was so happy. So then he felt like, okay, this I can make money with this, and then we start to have a couple fight.
Great. How did you come to the idea to kick off with the RSFC? It's very, very hard to launch a new promotion and especially attract very big names.
Well, I want to be honest. This is the man we did. The idea is the one of the biggest director in Vivendi. His name is Robins Chalewachu. He is the man on the idea. Who is the man who's, I had my promotion. I did the first show in France. That was back in 2016. Sold out in 2 days in Paris. But after that, I was thinking about my promotion. I had my idea of promotion, and there's someone who put me in touch with Vivendi. The name of the person is Leia, and she put me in touch with Vivendi, saying that, oh, this is the man you need to work with. And then I get in touch with Robins Chalewachu, and he had already that idea of RS. So he asked me to be with them, and I give, to work on that and everything. And then we decided to build that up. But so, yeah, I had my idea of company, but I couldn't have the global resource that you need to have that kind of major league. To have that kind of major league, you need some resources that I couldn't have by myself, and they are bringing something very heavy. So, yeah, the RS is definitely a league from Vivendi, and I'm part of that. Yes, I'm really proud to be part of that.
You said in the interview with BJ Penn that RSFC is going to be stronger than Bellator. So, I'm interested in one thing. RS is a very, very young promotion, but you attracted many big names, like, for example, Lukashevsky fought Gilbert Burns, and I watched that fight. He is an awesome fighter. We got Wilson Hayes. Wilson Hayes also mentioned Moraja, Sandoval. We got Juan Adams. Hayes and Adams, they are praising the promotion everywhere. They love the promotion. They're saying it's very, very competitive and so on. So, very young promotion and so many awesome fighters. It's kind of hard to achieve. Can you give your comments on that? Thanks.
Well, the first thing to know is that I've been in this business a little bit, quite a long time. Like, I spent the last 10 years going around the world coaching people in UFC, in Bellator, in Singapore, in Dreams, in probably all the big events around the world. So I know what is going on out there, and I know how hard is the business on the promotion. This is one of the hardest business you never had. Like, you cannot count how many people just throw money in the window and then close the promotion after 2 events. There's a bunch of them out there. So before launching that kind of promotion, you need to think. You need to be, you really need to make sure that you're going in the good path. So I'm very lucky to work with very smart people. Like I said to you, I cannot count all my colleagues, but I'm thinking about Emmanuel Buscas, I'm thinking about Guillaume Mel, I'm thinking about Camille, I'm thinking about Eliab, I'm thinking about Benjamin Safati. I mean, so many colleagues that put together the brain, the collective thinking to pull out something very intelligent, very smart, which is going in one promotion where we are not counting in the ticketing in the end the seat, how many people would sit, but we are trying to build something on the globally broadcast. So the thing is to be broadcasted globally around the world and bring to people the very good show, good quality of production, good quality of show, good athletes, and then wait till we become something big. This takes time, this takes dedication, this takes sacrifice, and we are all willing to go far and keep doing that till we get one of the best show in the world. So we're very young. We need to stay humble and know that this is very strong business. This is very hard business, but we know what's going on, and having fighter like Juan Adams, having fighter like Wilson Reyes, who fought for the belt in the UFC, having people like Sandoval or John Moraga or Taylor Lapillus, having those people saying to me, I'm not in rush to go to the UFC. I really like your promotion. I want to stay with you guys. That's too much for me. That's very good. Like, you have a young girl like Jamila Sandora. She's a model. She have like almost 250K follower in the Instagram. She could have do something else. She could have signed with the UFC, but she's saying, I would like to keep going with you guys. I really like the energy in the RS means a lot for us. And also having the UFC putting their trust on us, because we have that relationship good with the UFC, which is being on the UFC Fight Pass, this big platform for the very first show. We didn't have to show to give them any video, any footage. For the very first show, the way they saw our production on the paper, they was like, we are dealing with you. We have a contract with you. We need to do this. So that's very good for us. Having the good relationship with the UFC matchmaking team, so they can pick in the RS fighting fighters. That's very good for us. So yeah, we are very young in the business, but we are coming to stay, and we are coming to really take over.
Right now, when the pandemic broke out, you pretty much protected the fighters immediately and instantly by delaying or postponing RS2. I don't know whether RS3 is postponed, but it was a very, very express move. So you also filmed a video, correct me if I'm wrong, where you messaged fighters to stay home until the crisis is done. Can you please tell something on that?
Well, like I said, that was a hard decision to make. Very hard decision, because behind each fighter, you have a family waiting them to to showcase so they can have the food on the table. Those fighters are professional. They need that fight so they can make money, and then they can provide food on the family or sustain family. And you need to think and be wise on the future a little bit. I cannot predict what would be tomorrow or after tomorrow, but when we first saw what was going on in China, and I was very close to check all the detail about the quickly and exponentially the virus was getting to people. I was like, I don't see how this thing went to stop before April. We had the fight scheduled for April 3rd in Brussels. And then again, I'm very glad to have a chairman like Robin Shalewachu, very wise man who decided to just push back a little bit the show, and because he had the feeling that there's something coming big, you know. And when we took that decision, the first fighter was like, "What are you doing?" The main event was Nordin Taleb, okay, TNT. Nordin Taleb just go in the end of his contract. He could negotiate with USA to get another contract, but decided to trust us and come with us because we pay fighter very decent money and we treat fighter very well. And he was like, "Why, Mr. Lopez?" Because the still the Glory 76 in Antwerp, in Belgium. There's still EBD in Charleroi. There's still a lot of shows going on. Why will you stop your show very early? And I was like, I'm pretty sure that they will be shut down at some point. I don't know. I cannot predict, but we need to be responsible and we need to be humble against this this pandemic. It's not something to take lightly. And we decided to push back the event. And couple of weeks later, there was all the show around, 42 shows who just cancel or push back their show. That means we did a good move. Good move means that you need to anticipate a little bit and think about people. Look, I did like the statement of this guy. He was supposed to fight for the UFC main event in London. Can you help me?
Was it maybe Tyrone Woodley or Leon Edwards?
Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards said he had a call after the postponed the event in London. He had a call from the UFC saying to him, "You have 3 days, 3 hours to pack your stuff, go to the airport, Israel, and then take your flight. You're going to fight in Vegas, so you need to fly." And he was like, "Okay, I don't see how that's possible. Let me call my people." And the people, the coach, the staff was like, "Are you sure we're going to be okay to cross the border? And if we make it to cross the border, are you sure that we're going to get back in UK on time?" And he was like, "I don't know. At that point, he decided to do not go fight in Vegas. So this is the situation. People need to think not only now, because we push it back Brussels, April 3rd. Now we're pushing back South Africa. Was scheduled for the start of the very beginning of August in South Africa. The first August was the day that we had the venue, everything booked already. Everything was done. The fight card, everything done. But we just had the president of South Africa making the restriction for the travel. No in, no out in the South Africa, because they had the first death there, and they have 243 new cases every day. Is only going more and more. This is the starting in Africa. Okay, so we don't know how this thing going to go viral. We don't know how this thing going to stay long. And if we make it to bring fighter, 24 fighter in South Africa, bring 12 referee and staff, judges coming from, we as a referee we have Rich Michel from the UFC that you know. We have Matt Godard, he's the referee in our show. This is people that we're going to make travel in South Africa. What if they get stuck there and they cannot get back? Now there's almost 200 French citizens, 200,000 French citizens out of France. They want to get back in France. They can't get back in France. So we need to act responsible. It's not only about the business, it's also about the decency, the morality. Like when you get 22,000 dead around the world, still keeping to go for the celebration, because a fight promotion is a show, it's a celebration in the end of each fight. When you keep celebrating, when you have 27,000 people dead around the world, I'm kind of uncomfortable with that situation. I mean, there's something wrong on that. Keep insisting, persisting to have a show. I mean, like, you need to fight to get all the fighters in. You need to fight to make sure that there's not a contamination between the fighters. You need to fight to get all the fighters out so they can go back to their country. In this situation right now, with the lockdown all over the world, I think it's very, very risky. That's why we decide to just push back everything and look how things goes on.
Thank you so much. Would you like to add something? Did we miss something?
No, nothing special. I really appreciate what you are doing. I mean, we, in this day of quarantine, we need to thank people like you who are keeping this moving on. I really appreciate your work, Vladimir. I really like what you're doing, because this is how we can build the sport. This is how, without putting people in danger. That's very good.
Oh, thank you so much for this. I will post it tomorrow, because I have one more interview scheduled later, and until the video makes and so on, you will have it tomorrow. I'll tag you on Twitter. I'll send you a message, so you will be able to watch it. Thank you so much, and just to know, I love every single MMA promotion and everything MMA related. So anybody who's MMA is always welcome here.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Fernand. Have a great evening too. Have a great day.